Don't tell anyone we're dating. I have a reputation to protect, she warned before her work event. Sure, I said. Left the event early. Packed my things that night. Started dating her coworker 3 weeks later. We showed up together at the next company event holding hands. She dropped her drink. Her reputation stayed perfect. Her composure didn't. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. This has been eating at me for a while now, even though it's been over a year since it all went down. I need to get it out there, maybe for closure, or maybe just to hear from others who've been through something similar. I'm a guy in my late 20s, working as a freelance graphic designer. It's not the most glamorous job, flexible hours, creative freedom, but it doesn't come with the corner office or the six-figure salary that screams corporate success. That's fine by me. I've always valued stability and authenticity over flash. But apparently, that wasn't enough for Emily. We met about 2 years ago through a mutual friend at a casual happy hour. She was sharp, ambitious, the kind of person who lights up a room with her confidence. Emily worked in marketing at a mid-sized tech firm, climbing the ladder fast. She was always talking about networking, building her personal brand, and how important it was to project the right image. At first, I admired that drive. I supported her through late nights prepping presentations, celebrated her promotions, even helped her design some graphics for her LinkedIn profile to make her look more professional. I covered her rent a couple of times when she was between paychecks early on, back when she was still an assistant and scraping by. Flashback to one of those moments. It was maybe 6 months in, and she was stressed about a big client pitch. I stayed up with her until 2 a.m., brainstorming ideas, making coffee runs, and reassuring her that she had this. You're amazing, I'd tell her. They're lucky to have you. She'd smile, lean in for a kiss, and say something like, what would I do without you? It felt real then. But as things got serious, the red flags started popping up. Emily was obsessed with how things appeared. She didn't want to post about us on social media, not because she was private, but because, as she put it once, I have to curate my feed for professional opportunities. You get it, right? I did, or at least I convinced myself I did. I'd see her Instagram stories from work events, looking polished and single, laughing with colleagues, no mention of a boyfriend. It stung a little, but I rationalized it. She was building her career. I didn't want to hold her back. Then came the secrecy escalation. About a year into dating, she started insisting we keep things low-key around her work circle. My team is gossipy, she'd say. I don't want them thinking I'm distracted by personal stuff. Fair enough, I thought. But it went further. We'd go to neutral spots for dates, avoid places where her coworkers might show up. One time, we ran into someone from her office at a coffee shop, and she introduced me as an old friend from college. I played along, but inside, it felt like a gut punch. Was I that embarrassing? I wasn't some slacker. I had my own clients, a solid portfolio, and I treated her like gold. But to her, I guess I didn't fit the power couple vibe she was chasing. The betrayal built slowly, like a drip that turns into a flood. I'd notice her phone lighting up with messages from work guys. Nothing explicit, but flirty enough to make me wonder. She'd laugh it off if I asked, saying, it's just networking. You have to play the game in this industry. Play the game? I wasn't playing anything. I was committed. Flashback to another night. We were supposed to have a quiet dinner at my place, but she canceled last minute for a team building thing. Later, I saw photos online, her arm around some suit from sales, captioned, great night with the crew. Hashtag work hard, play hard. No mention of bailing on plans. I confronted her gently, and she rolled her eyes. You're being paranoid. It's professional. But I started feeling like a secret, a backup plan she kept hidden while she tested the waters elsewhere. It all culminated before her big annual work event, a fancy gala where the company schmoozed clients and celebrated milestones. Emily had been prepping for weeks, buying a new dress, practicing her mingling lines. The day before, we were at her apartment, and she sat me down with this serious look. Listen, she said, fiddling with her necklace, about tomorrow night. I invited you because I want you there, but don't tell anyone we're dating, okay? I have a reputation to protect. I blinked, processing that. What do you mean, reputation? She sighed, like I was the one being difficult. Come on, you know how it is. These events are all about impressions. If people know I'm with someone outside the industry, someone who's Freelance, it might make me look less focused, less available for opportunities. I need to seem independent, ambitious. You get it, right? It's not about you. It's about the optics. Optics. Like I was a smudge on her perfect lens. I felt my chest tighten, but I kept my voice steady. So, what? I'm just supposed to act like a stranger? Not a stranger, she said, reaching for my hand with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Just a friend. We can hang out after at home. It'll be fun sneaking around a bit. Fun. Yeah, right. Her words hung there, dismissive and smug, like she expected me to nod along gratefully. I could see the twisted logic in her head. She got to have me in private, but in public, I was erasable. It hit me then how undeserved this was. I'd been loyal, supportive, never once made her feel small. But here she was, treating me like a liability. Sure, I said calmly, pulling my hand back. No argument, no outburst. Just that one word. She beamed. Great. See you tomorrow. That conversation was the tipping point. The betrayal wasn't just the secrecy. It was the casual cruelty of it, the way she prioritized her reputation over my dignity. I went home that night feeling confused, replaying it all. Was I overreacting? Part of me wanted to believe it was just her ambition talking, but the unfairness gnawed at me. I'd sacrificed weekends, emotional energy, even turned down a gig out of town because she needed me around. And for what? To be her hidden convenience? The next evening, I showed up at the gala in my best suit, feeling out of place among the polished execs and their designer everything. The venue was some upscale ballroom downtown, string lights, and open bar, everyone networking like their lives depended on it. Emily spotted me early, gave me a quick hug, platonic, of course, and whispered, "Remember, just friends tonight." I nodded, grabbed a drink, and tried to mingle. But watching her work the room was like a slow-motion train wreck. She flitted from group to group, laughing too loudly at jokes from guys in tailored blazers. One in particular, a tall, slick sales director named Mark, had her full attention. I overheard snippets, her complimenting his recent deal, him touching her arm, her not pulling away. It wasn't overt, but the flirtation was there, electric and obvious to anyone paying attention. She glanced my way once or twice, but it was like I was invisible. About an hour in, she pulled me aside to a quiet corner near the coat check. Her cheeks were flushed from wine, eyes bright with that ambitious glow. "Hey," she said, leaning in close but not too close. "Having fun. It's fine," I replied evenly. She tilted her head, sensing something off. "Look, I know this is weird, but it's working. People are talking to me like I'm the next big thing." Mark even mentioned a potential lead on a promotion. "Mark?" I echoed. "Yeah, the sales guy? He's connected. This is why the reputation thing matters. Keeps doors open." She said it so casually, like justifying a business strategy. Then she dropped the bomb. "Actually, he's been hinting at grabbing drinks sometime. Nothing serious, just networking. But I can't have anyone thinking I'm tied down, you know?" Tied down. To me. The words landed like a slap, her tone smug and dismissive, as if I should applaud her cunning. It confirmed what I'd suspected. She was keeping me secret not just for optics, but to leave room for better options. The twisted logic poured out. "You're stable, reliable. That's great for real life. But in this world, I need to project availability. It's not cheating, it's strategy. You'll understand once I climb higher. It'll benefit us both." I stood there, the hum of the party fading. No yelling, no scene. Just the quiet realization that this was her choosing someone. Something else, cruelly and publicly, even if the public didn't know our secret. "Sure," I said again, my voice flat. I excused myself, saying I had an early morning, and left the event early. No goodbye kiss, no lingering. Just walked out into the night air, the betrayal settling in like fog. That night, back at my apartment, I didn't rage or cry. I packed my things, the stuff I'd left at her place over the months, but more importantly, I packed away the emotional investment. I texted her a simple message. "I'm done with the secrecy. We're over." Then I blocked her on everything. No confrontation, no begging for explanations. Just detachment. I disappeared from her life that night, focusing on myself for the first time in a long while. The days after that gala were a blur of silence and self-reflection. I didn't blow up her phone or demand answers. Instead, I detached completely. I spent the first week holed up in my apartment, replaying the unfairness of it all. How had I let myself become someone's secret? The confusion hit hard. Nights staring at the ceiling, wondering if I'd missed signs earlier. I'd given up so much time, energy, even a freelance project that could have taken me abroad because she needed me for emotional support during her last promotion push. Flashback to that. She'd called me crying after a bad review, and I dropped everything to be there, holding her while she vented. "You're my rock," she'd said. But rocks don't get hidden, they get stood on. I let the silence stretch, not out of pettiness, but because I needed space to process. Friends noticed. I confided in a couple of close ones over beers. "Dude, that's messed up," one said. "You deserve better." It helped, hearing it out loud. I started small changes. Hit the gym more, picked up hiking on weekends, dove deeper into my graphic design work. A new client came through, one that let me flex my creativity without the corporate grind. It was liberating, realizing I didn't need her validation. About 2 weeks in, I ran into Sarah at a local coffee shop. She was one of Emily's co-workers, a junior marketer I'd met briefly at a previous low-key team happy hour where Emily had still introduced me as a friend. Sarah was different, warm, unpretentious, with a laugh that cut through the noise. We chatted about design. She needed help with a personal project, and it turned into coffee, then a casual dinner. No rebound drama. It felt natural. She knew about Emily and me vaguely, but since it was secret, she didn't pry. 3 weeks after the breakup, we made it official. Sarah didn't care about optics. She posted a photo of us hiking together the next day, captioning it, "Weekend adventures with this guy." It was the opposite of everything with Emily. Open, genuine. I didn't seek her out for revenge. It just happened. But as I rebuilt, the dignity came from within. No emotional outbursts, no stalking her socials. I vanished from her world, focusing on a life where I wasn't anyone's backup. Karma didn't take long to catch up, though it unfolded gradually, like watching a house of cards teeter. From what I pieced together later, through mutual acquaintances and the grapevine, Emily's strategy backfired spectacularly. That sales guy, Mark, turns out he was a serial networker, the kind who flirted with everyone for leads. He used her enthusiasm to get intros to her clients, then ghosted when a bigger opportunity came along. But it got worse. Whispers started at work about her being too eager, how she'd badmouthed a colleague to impress him. Her reputation, the one she'd guarded so fiercely, stayed perfect on the surface, all polished LinkedIn posts and forced smiles. But underneath, cracks formed. She messed up a big presentation, distracted by the fallout, and got passed over for that promotion. Friends from her circle drifted. Turns out, keeping secrets isolates you. She became the office cautionary tale, ambitious but unstable, always chasing the next shiny thing. I heard she started therapy, or at least that's what Sarah mentioned offhand one day. Office gossip. Emily isolated herself more, posting less, looking worn in the few sightings. The irony was delicious. She discarded me to protect her image, only to unravel because of it. Her perfect facade held, but her composure? Shattered. She was broke emotionally, maybe financially too after splurging on that gala dress and networking drinks that led nowhere. Mutual friends stopped defending her once the truth trickled out. How she'd played the field while stringing me along. It felt earned, not vengeful. Just the universe balancing the scales. The attempts to crawl back started about a month after the gala. At first, it was subtle, a text from a new number. "Hey, it's Emily. Can we talk? I miss our talks." I didn't respond. Then calls, voicemails piling up. The desperation ramped up quickly. One evening, my phone rang while I was cooking dinner with Sarah. I let it go to voicemail, but curiosity won. I played it on speaker later. "Hi, it's me." Emily's voice cracked a bit. "I know I screwed up. The secrecy was stupid. I was just scared of how it'd look at work. But you're the real thing. Mark was nothing, just a mistake. Please call back. We can fix this." Her excuses twisted like before, blaming fear, work pressure, anything but her choices. No real apology, just justifications. I deleted it without a word. A week later, she showed up at my apartment unannounced, banging on the door. Sarah was out, thankfully. I opened it, keeping the chain on. "Finally," she said, eyes red-rimmed, hair messy, far from her polished self. "Why are you ignoring me?" I said I'm sorry. The reputation thing, it was dumb. I was climbing so fast, I thought I had to play it safe. But I need you now. Things at work are falling apart. Mark turned out to be a jerk. He used me for connections and bailed. I'm alone, and it's killing me. Come on, let's go back to how it was. You were always there for me. She paced the hallway, voice rising. Don't you remember? I need my rock back. Hypocrisy dripped from every word. She'd hidden me, but now wanted me public when it suited her. I stayed calm, door barely open. Emily, there's nothing to fix. That chapter's closed. But why? Because of her? Sarah? That's low. Dating my coworker? You're doing this to hurt me. Desperation flipped to accusation, her true colors flashing. Entitled, manipulative. No, I said firmly. I'm doing this for me. She left huffing, but it wasn't over. Next came the reinforcements, her toxic crew. First, a call from her sister, who I'd met once and found overbearing. Is this you? The sister barked. Emily's a mess because of your pettiness. She made one mistake. Big deal. Man up and take her back. Family sticks together, but you're acting like a child. I hung up mid-rant. Then mutual friends texted, egged on by her. Dude, hear her out. She's changed. Unpleasant guilt trips, all echoing her narrative. The final straw was an angry voicemail from Emily herself, a few days later. Fine, ignore me. But dating Sarah? That's revenge, pure and simple. You're pathetic if you think she'll stick around. I gave you everything, stability, love, and you throw it away? Screw you. You'll regret this when I'm back on top. Her attempts had escalated from pleading to rage, exposing the smugness I'd overlooked. I blocked the new numbers, detached further. She was unraveling, but it wasn't my problem. The climax came at the next company event, a holiday party 6 months later at the same upscale venue. Sarah invited me as her +1. By then, we were solid, talking about moving in together. I'd heard through the grapevine that Emily was hanging on by a thread at work, demoted to smaller projects. Her once vibrant social circle thinned out. But I didn't dwell on it. My life had upgraded, steady clients, a supportive relationship, even a side hustle teaching design workshops. She was irrelevant, a faded lesson in self-respect. We walked in holding hands, Sarah in a sleek dress, me feeling at ease for the first time in that crowd. The room buzzed with holiday cheer, twinkling lights, clinking glasses. I spotted Emily across the way, nursing a drink alone, her polish cracked, makeup a bit too heavy, smile forced. When she saw us, her glass slipped from her hand, shattering on the floor. Heads turned, but she just stood there, composure gone, face paling like she'd seen a ghost. She made a beeline over during a lull, cornering us near the dessert table. Sarah stepped aside politely, giving me space, but stayed close. What the hell is this? Emily hissed, voice low but trembling. Her eyes darted to our linked fingers. You bring her here? To my event? After everything. It's our event now. I said calmly, no edge, just fact. She faltered, desperation cracking through. Please, can we talk? Alone? I've been a wreck. Work's killing me. That promotion slipped away. Mark was a disaster, and now everyone's whispering. I realize now how wrong I was. The secrecy, it was my insecurity. You were the best thing I had. Let's try again. I'll shout it from the rooftops this time. No more hiding. Her words echoed her old twisted logic, but flipped. Now she wanted public when she was the one crumbling. Hypocrisy laid bare. She'd made me feel like a liability, but here she was, begging for my stability. I looked her in the eye, firm and detached. Emily, that ship sailed. You chose your reputation over us, and it worked out exactly as you planned, on the surface. But I'm not your safety net anymore. I've built something real here, with someone who values me openly. You're just a reminder of what I don't need. She recoiled, tears welling. How can you be so cold? Seeing you with her, it hurts. Don't you care at all? Not anymore. I replied evenly. This is my life now, thriving, without the games. You're irrelevant to it. She turned away, muttering something about me being heartless, but the power had reversed. She slunk off, composure in tatters, while Sarah and I enjoyed the night. Her reputation stayed perfect in that corporate bubble, but everyone saw the drop, the desperation. It was the visual reversal she'd earned. Looking back, that encounter sealed it. No more texts, no more drama. I proposed to Sarah a year later, and life's never been better. If you're reading this and feeling like someone's secret, walk away. Dignity's worth more than any facade. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.